stairs. So the tourist class staircases had two major design flaws. They're at a really high angle, and they are facing towards the bow. That became a problem when the Queen Mary hit rough water and started to climb a large wave, because then the angle of the stairs goes from 45 to 90 degrees. There are a number of documented cases of tourist class passengers being tossed off of these staircases. One really vague report in the 1950s just says, gentleman found collapsed on forward staircase. So we don't know for sure what happened to him, but it is not at all unreasonable to suspect he may have been thrown back against the wall and died from his injuries. We now have the man in black. And I don't mean Johnny Cash is haunting the ship. My understanding is that this is just a shadow that will ascend the stairs, turn the corner, and disappear. And one more quick fun fact before we move on. The little brass speed bumps were put in to discourage tourist class children from sliding down the banister. The kids turned out to be more resourceful than the crew gave them credit for. They grabbed the pillows out of the room and used them as sleds. Well, to increase the strength and flexibility of her frame as she crashed into the 50-foot waves of the Atlantic Ocean. The shock would travel through her frame and she would bend and flex, but she would never break. I'd also like to take this opportunity to direct your attention to the lovely Bakelite handrails. Bakelite being one of the earliest forms of plastic. When the Queen Mary was first being built, first she thought the sheets had just fallen off, so she pulled back up. They got pulled back down. Pulled back up, they got pulled back down. A full-on tug-of-war ensued before she remembered she was in the room by herself. She looked up and she saw the silhouette of a man standing at the foot of her bed. She screamed. The man. Speed trials. The ceiling is quartz, and of course she's a ship. She's always sitting on water. I've been told those two things are conductors for the paranormal. So directly below where I'm standing in the old changing rooms, parapsychologists believe that the quartz and the water created a vortex. It's like a whirlpool of energy that allows the spirits to travel from the other side back into the land of the living. And they think that's why there's so much paranormal activity on board. This was the original entrance to the first class swimming pool. We have not been able to use it as a pool since the ship came to Long Beach. California State Code dictates pools cannot be deeper than 3.5 feet at the shallow end. The first and cabin class pools were both 6 feet at the shallow end. The tourist class passengers to use the first class pool. The moment they were done, the pool was drained, cleaned, and refilled for the first class passengers. The 24,000 gallon capacity could be drained or filled in about 25 minutes. It was salt water pumped in from the Atlantic Ocean, which you think would be freezing, but you have to consider the location of the pool.
There's this asbestos infested cottage.
Yeah, that's been
Weddings by the Queen Mary.
It's really pretty.
awesome. salon.
The Queen's salad.
Nothing in yours.